All right, boys. I hope everyone had a good week. I want to share something and get it off my chest. Something that's made me a little bit sad this week, and is the inspiration behind
Before we jump into that, if anybody's watching by video, they have to see that we've got the new studio.
That's so true.
New digs.
Actually, I feel so much better.
We got some new digs. It's looking a little nicer.
Starting to get there. It's still a little bit.
Got a couple more tweaks to happen,
yet,
but
Shout out to our interior designer Matt. This is all
and
his.
Holly.
All his handiwork, and
yeah.
Holly as well. Shout out to them. Andrew and I did absolutely nothing.
Besides critiquing them.
Yeah, we did
build
a lot.
faster.
He came in with glasses and just they wrote stuff on a checkboard and then walked off. I was like, what is that?
I think we made Matt pay for everything as well. I don't remember reimbursing him. Anyway, well, look, let me share something with you that happened earlier this week. Unfortunately, my 4-year-old broke her first bone.
Never fun.
Never fun. No. So she, thankfully, not under my watch, but also thankfully my wife was there. So my wife, again, for context, is 23, 24 weeks pregnant at this point. And she took them to the local park, the girls, where we have been 100 times. And my daughter fell off the monkey bar, and instantly my wife knew something was wrong. But she had walked to the park. And the park was 2 miles away.
Oh, man.
So she sprinted back home.
Wait, your wife's walking 2 miles, 24 weeks pregnant?
And she
for her.
sprinted
That's awesome.
home with the double stroller.
Yeah.
And got like the kids packed up into the car and over to the ER room. Also shout out to one of my buddies who is an ER doctor, got my daughter like right in. Everything kind of went through with the x-ray and stuff. But it was just like a scary moment for everyone. Just when, a kid falls, you kind of see that like something is definitely wrong.
Yeah.
I was at work, so thoroughly unhelpful. Like there's nothing I could have done. So I'm like in a meeting, like seeing this like stuff come through. And I'm like, I don't really know what I can do.
Those are the worst when like you're in that meeting and you see like your wife's world like crumbling around her and you're just like, I mean, there's nothing I could, even if I could get
Well,
out
I came
of
into the next meeting, I think it was with you, like just in a bad mood. Because like someone was like, oh, so-and-so got married. And I went, I don't care. Like, let's just get on with this meeting. I need to get
I got to get home. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was someone that got married. I was like, I don't care.
Now, how was your daughter during this? Like, was it a really bad break? Was she crying, screaming the whole time?
It was
she just say
actually
something
just
was wrong?
shock. And again, like I wasn't there. And hearing it secondhand makes you kind of feel sad. Like she was shaking the whole time.
Yeah.
So she was like, at like the adrenaline hits, you're not like...
Have you broke a bone?
I've broken multiple. I've broken my nose a bunch of times. Like,
So when you like broke like when I broke my wrist like this like I don't know what happened. I broke my wrist later on, but like the shaking like a kid. I can see a kid having a really.
And I think it was the wrist in the end, because it was like it was kind of like in this area between like the hand, like the radius bone. I think.
Okay.
But no, I think it was just the adrenaline, the shock, and then she was in good spirits when I got home. But then the realization then hits that I can't swim for the rest of the summer. I can't do my gymnastics. I can't do all the activities that I want to do.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
And so that's the inspiration behind, for want of a better word, behind.
You know they have the new cast that can't get wet though, right?
Oh really?
Yes.
She's in a splint right now.
So when you get cast, ask them for the ones that can get wet because then they still can swim and do their normal
So we
stuff.
gave her a bath yesterday. And we had to do the old school plastic bag, wrap it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not fun for anyone.
No, it's not.
We'll get into all. I have a million of these stories, but the funny one was not funny. But the funny thing about trying to keep a cast wet, my son had like his finger. He was at school and ran out and somehow got his finger caught in one of those big metal like commercial doors.
Ooh,
and it basically severed his finger halfway down.
Oof.
And so like bone and everything.
Wow.
So they like pushed it back together and like resealed. And they're like, well, he's a kid, so there's a good chance it'll heal up.
Yeah.
So he basically had a cast on his hand for like, I don't know, maybe 8 weeks or something like that. All healed up fine, but I replaced that cast, no joke, I think like 7 times.
Oh man, because
He's a boy. He's a little boy. This thing would just get wet doing whatever. He'd go to the bathroom and get the thing wet. And he's like, oh my gosh, kid.
Fishing things out the toilet.
Yeah, it was just terrible. So anyway.
So let's jump into the actual question for this week. So I want to know what your guys' dad style is when it comes to injuries. Are you they're fine, don't worry about it type of guy, or are you a urgent care, let's get them to the ER type of guy? Who wants
you
to
definitely gotta. I'll start. You definitely gotta, figure out what's going on. I feel like first, because like 90% of, let's say 99% of the time, I give them a walk it off kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong? Oh, I heard something. You look at it, you're like, you're fine.
Yeah.
But I think like your wife knew instantly something more than that was going on.
I try to ignore it 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's
genuinely, like I try to just ignore like which isn't helpful.
Yeah.
I realize.
No, I mean, I think there's like, go, I don't know if you finish your.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think there's kind of that sort of. I mean, the likelihood of your kid really being hurt is very, very rare because kids' bones, like somebody, I don't know who told me this, but a doctor told me they're basically like, you know, you have like a young tree and you try to like break a tree branch into like the green tree branches. That's kind of how kids' bones are. So it's much harder for a child to like actually break something than an adult. That's why you see a kid fall and land all weird, and you're just like, I'd die if that happened to me.
Yeah.
A kid like bounces back up.
Yeah,
just because they're a little bit more flexible.
Well, how do you guys compare to your spouses? Are your spouses rub it off type of personality, or are they let's get them to the ER type personality?
We are both like anti-ER.
Doctor, yeah.
But I will say my wife has a better, I think, gauge of knowing immediately like, oh, this is like an actual
Something
serious
serious.
thing.
Yeah.
Versus
That's the same as
versus
Monday.
not. So like stitches is one of those things where I'm like, you'll be okay. Just butterfly that. Whereas my wife's like,
brains
no.
hanging out.
My wife's like, no, that's the stitch
That's
type
more than
scenario.
a Band-Aid here, Andrew. Yeah, that's great.
What are some of the worst injuries that your kids have had?
Oh, I mean, I just told the story yesterday. It was like a true medical emergency, and it's a long story, so I won't get into it. But we were at the pool. We have a pool, and we were at the pool, and our daughter was, I want to say, like 8 months old, and she just goes like limp, like full limp and blue in my wife's arms, like can't get her to do anything. Like,
Wait, wasn't in the pool at the time?
wasn't in the pool, just like in my wife's arms, just completely limp. And it was like 4 days in the. I mean, it was terrible. Terrible. That was probably the most traumatic we've had. And
But what happened?
nobody could explain it to us. So we just were like, all right, God healed her. We just did a whole bunch of prayer. Like at one point, my wife called me. Like, so my wife. This was during COVID. My wife was in the hospital, so both parents couldn't be in the hospital. So my wife spent. I'd go up and relieve her for a couple hours at a time, but she was breastfeeding at the time, so like I really couldn't do anything with the baby besides like Anna would go home, take a shower, basically get clothes, eat something real quick, and then right back up to the hospital. But my wife was in the hospital like 4 or 5 days. And one of the nights my wife called me and she's like, the doctor just came in and said she probably won't make it through the night. And that was like a 2 a.m. call. And those calls just like, and like there's nothing I could do. I'm sitting at home by myself and, you know, obviously a lot of prayer or whatever, but, you know, God healed her. And she like, the doctors didn't even know what to do. They're like, it's not COVID. We have
choking
nothing.
That's crazy.
It was nothing. They're like her heart. I don't know exactly what happened. I'm trying to remember all the details, but it was like she would have like these like seizures is a wrong term because it wasn't like a true seizure, but she'd almost have these seizure type things. But anyway, that was the most like traumatic because, you know, when a kid breaks, like we've had kids break all sorts of stuff. You kind of feel a little bit in control. Like, okay, it's about pain management. They're not going to die. But when your kid is, and I'm sure there's a lot of people hearing this who've either had kids who've actually, you know, either passed away or had issues that were like life altering issues. Those as a parent are like, you feel beyond helpless.
That's like your worst nightmare.
It's an unbelievable feeling of.
It's funny because when
helplessness.
it happened, and obviously like my wife was a little bit just like shaken up just how it happened. The biggest thing I had said was it could have been so much worse. It's actually totally fine.
Yeah, and their bones are going to heal back stronger.
And quicker as well. They heal back quicker. What about you guys?
My daughter broke her arm like probably spring of her first grade school year.
Okay.
So you're like writing a ton and all that. So she broke her right arm.
Oh, that's
She broke it on the playground. And it was one of those things too where like back and forth, like it was like in the evening we're like, is it that bad? We don't know. And then we're like, we should take her in there. And then they scanned it and they saw that there was a fracture in there. So she had to do the whole cast thing. So, I mean, sitting with her at the ER, you know, she had to get some shots and get blood drawn and all that type of stuff. But she was pretty tough.
You know, kids are weirdly resilient.
Yeah, she held it together
like
pretty good.
They just don't care. I mean, like, obviously, there's the incident itself, but like they just bounce right back again.
Yeah. The hardest thing for her, she had to learn to write with her left hand to finish the school year.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
does she still write with her left hand?
No,
ever,
she doesn't. But
her
her teacher was super graceful too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously
that's an N. Shape up, kid.
Most things are like on laptops now anyway, so it doesn't really.
Not their school, man. Their school is still old. I mean,
It's old school.
You guys do a lot of handwriting.
Oh yeah, they got to write a lot. So.
Oof.
Yeah.
The one that my wife and I still talk about, we feel real bad about, was my daughter was jumping. She was in her basement, and they put like all these like stuffed animals at the base of the stairs, and they were jumping off the stairs, like just like 3 stairs, just
Classic.
jumping off the stairs. And we kept being like, guys, stop jumping off the stairs, put the stuff away, whatever. And so my one daughter, she's like 3 steps up. Now, mind you, she was jumping off like 5 or 6 steps. She jumps off some like 3 steps, and then she comes up. She's crying. She's like, I hurt myself. And so I'm like looking at her foot, and she's kind of walking.
Did you give her a lecture first?
Not her. She was too young. She was like, I think 4 at the time.
Okay. Matt would have given a lecture. Right?
I would have sat her down and said, listen, I told you.
This is your own fault.
That's
so anyway,
what happened.
3 days she's hobbling around.
Oh, wow.
3 days. Not really complaining other than like, oh, it really hurts, Dad. It really hurts, hurts. So finally we go over her cousin's house or our my brother-in-law's house. And she's like in a lot of pain, trying to like run around, keep up with the kids. And we bring her, she's been walking on a broken foot.
Wow.
For 3 days.
Wow.
I mean, talk about feeling like an idiot as a parent.
Yeah.
Luckily the doctor was
gracious.
I told you,
babe. I told you.
Luckily the doctor was gracious.
You got to get
like,
that kid in some endurance running later in life, man. You know,
she's unbelievable. So,
have your kids ever faked injuries?
I can't. I mean, they fake getting beat up by each other, like, oh, so and so hit me, but not real injuries. I can't think of any real injury that someone faked.
My daughter, when she was 3, I think 3, she was fake hobbling around.
Really?
And I think the reason why is her auntie, so my sister-in-law, had broken her ankle. Like, this is the stupidest story. She went to, we as a family had been on her case and said, it was, shortly after actually my mother-in-law had like passed away. And we were like, you need to just get back into like a routine of just like self-care type thing. Okay. And so she did. She signed up for this like really fancy gym, like in Tremont. She goes to her first exercise class at this place, a yoga class. She picks up a mat. She puts the mat down. The class hasn't started yet. She puts her foot on the mat, and like a banana skin type moment, it goes and flips. Okay, so she loses her footing. And so she calls my wife and I. We were out at the time, and she's like, kind of like really upset. She's like, I think I've like hurt my ankle. You need to like pick me up. Yeah. And we basically went, no, absolutely not.
You're an adult. Figure it out.
We did. We figure it out yourself. Yeah. So she had one of her other sisters pick her up. She had snapped her like the bone clean.
Oh my gosh.
Word.
And so I give you that backstory because I think my daughter at the time was so freaked out by it. She was like, I don't want you in my house. Yeah. So she actually
to the sister?
To the sister. Yeah. So she actually missed my daughter's birthday because she was like, I don't want you and your crutches in our house. We still like laugh about it today. But man. I think subconsciously she had seen her hobbling around. So there was a period of time where I think she was
imitating,
imitating all of that.
That's
and we were
really
like
funny, actually.
Trying to figure out because she'd been to like one of those trampoline parks like a few days before or the day before and was jumping around. And we were like, why are you hobbling around? Like we couldn't quite figure out, and then we kind of put two and two together.
Do you guys, can I ask a question? Do you guys use Band-Aids a lot in your house?
All the time.
There's stickers in our house.
Okay, thank you.
They might as well be stickers.
It drives me nuts because I go, my kid's like, Dad, I'm hurt. I need a Band-Aid. I'm like, you're not bleeding. Band-Aids are for blood. They're like, I need a Band-Aid. And they just won't relent.
We had one family who, when we went to their kid's birthday, you know how like the party favors?
Yeah.
There was Band-Aids in the party favors. And we were like, this is the best favor we've seen.
The problem is they make these Band-Aids now. I forget the type my wife gets. They're like all colorful. And sticker.
There's Ninja Band-Aids.
And they're like fabric now where they're not even irritating. It's like,
well, then your kids want the specific one. She's like, I don't want that one. I want that one.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like, go back to the nude color Band-Aids. Kids will never want them.
I know, when you rip those things off.
Plastic where like it like almost irritates your skin.
They turn black at some point.
Exactly.
I'm glad I'm not alone on that one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We go through so many Band-Aids. I'm like, this is not, guys. Like then my kids are terrible because the little like the tabs you rip off.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
Where are these coming from?
They are everywhere. Any battle scars like your kids have? Like any proud ones?
My boys. So my second boy, he has got so many scars on his face. Like I mean, he's cut above his eye like 3 or 4 times playing sports. And I remember it was great because like his first time like getting a real gash, like like you could see the bone type gash on his eyebrow. We were at the ER or something like that, and I'm like, "How you feeling, buddy?" And he was probably like 5 years old at the time. He's like, "It's okay, Dad. chicks dig scars. I was like, yeah, they do, buddy. Yeah, they do.
That's so funny. Builds character.
That's funny. I was looking at some. I was actually looking at some stats because again, it happened like on obviously the Monday, and I was like just super curious around like just kids and injuries and things like that. What do you think is the most dangerous place for a kid to get injured in the house? Which room?
Bedroom.
What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking outside, but inside the house.
Inside the house.
Yeah, I'll go.
Kitchen with
I'll
all
go
the
basement.
knives, maybe.
It's the living room.
The living
The
room.
living room, yeah. All that like couch to coffee table jumping and
Yeah.
I was thinking the
Can't
bed,
stop
jumping
that.
off your bed.
beds is
being
another
Yeah, I was
good
thinking
one.
the
Couch is
the
the same
playground's
thing.
gotta be
We've had some
outside.
bad couch ones.
Really?
Yeah, we had my one daughter fell and split like her chin, and she fell. And we kind of like tried to like laugh it off. And you know when like someone like has fallen behind the couch and then they emerge, it was like splurting
Yeah.
out. That was the stitches one.
Yeah, that happened to me as a kid. I
Oh,
was
really?
hanging on my sister's leg, and she was dragging me through our kitchen.
Yeah.
And I hit the corner, and it split my chin open. And I was going, she goes, "Let me see." I went like that, and just blood squirted. She just screamed. And
There's certain
you-
parts of the body where like,
yeah,
it's
and you had
just-
to get stitches. I actually did that twice.
Yeah.
I got ripped open on a skateboard later in life too, in the same spot.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm hoping my kids don't fall after me because I had a lot of.
Yeah.
Is that what
scabs and
happened?
Scars. Yeah.
That explains.
That
explains a
That
lot.
explains. So I got hit on my head about
This guy's
20
got
times.
a face for radio.
My one daughter, we have like this like staircase that kind of has like a little like sweeping staircase, and it's tile at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And so it's exposed, and so I'm always yelling at the kids, "Don't slide down on the rail
Sure,
banister
yeah.
or whatever."
Yeah.
She was sliding out, slipped over on the top, dude. She like literally face dived into this thing. We go to the ER to get this thing stitched up. He peels it back, and you could see her like chin through this
Oh,
thing.
man.
14 stitches,
Oh.
and it was 2 layers deep.
Wow.
It was like an alien was inside of this thing. It was like, dude, it was the most disgusting thing ever.
Wow.
I'm going like, I'm like, it's okay, baby, whatever. The
Meanwhile,
doctor comes
he's
in,
throwing up
the
in the
doctor
corner of
comes
the-
in and like peels it back after like all the Nova,
Yeah.
whatever hits, and I go, oh. It's okay, honey. It was like I could not control my.
That's hilarious.
I literally took a picture of it. That's how bad it was.
Oh man, that's so funny. Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
You're fine.
That's awesome. How many times do you think the average toddler falls in a day? I feel like my
Oh, man.
2-year-old
Oh, toddlers
is
yeah.
always full.
Yeah.
Like she'll just be walking, suddenly faceplant, and
Yeah.
then stand back up again and keep going.
Did you actually see the
yeah.
Scotty Scheffler after he won the?
Yeah.
His kid trying to walk up that hill. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
So he's like on top of I don't know a green or something like that,
Yeah.
and the little his like I think he's like a 1-year-old or 2-year-old trying to like walk up to
Sure,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Scheffler, and you know kids have those stupid big heads and they don't know how to balance their
Yeah,
their
yeah.
heads, so the kid like take 2 steps, falls down, gets up, tries to take another step, falls down.
Gotcha. And they're just letting him out there, just trying to get up the hill.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
eventually he
awesome.
goes out and helps them out. But like kids, dude, all day.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much a tot like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old. Like what age are we talking?
Yeah, let's
Toddler?
call it 2.
Oh,
2
yeah.
Two,
years
so
old.
they're like
They're
good
running.
walkers, whatever.
Yeah, but they still run
st-
constantly.
I'd still say they fall. I don't know. Well, you give
Yeah,
the number
50 times.
first.
I'll say 50 times.
I was gonna
a
go
day.
80 times a day.
Yeah.
Like the number
38
seems-
times a day.
38 times
Yeah,
a day.
38
Okay.
times a day.
Mine's
I
80 probably.
I feel like it's a lot. It's a lot higher, to be honest.
So we were just at amusement park, and my brother-in-law won us these massive, giant stuffed animals. Like
Yeah.
these things are like 7 feet tall. They're,
It's actually
they're
unhelpful.
enormous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And my daughters were loving jumping. They were jumping off the coffee table right into that thing. So the other day I had just the 2 little ones, and my 2-year-old is jumping, and I'm talking. I think I was on the phone with my dad or something like that. And all of a sudden, I just feel boom! I hit right in the back of my head.
Yeah.
My neck goes like instantly like weird, you know. And I look down, and my daughter's laying face down on this giant stuffed animal. I was like, did she just knock herself out? And I roll her over, and she just has this crazy look in her eye and this huge smile.
2-year-old?
Yeah.
100%.
She just looked at me like,
Yeah.
ah. And I was just like, you're nuts, kid. And meanwhile, I'm like, I need an ice pack on
Meanwhile,
my
you're
head.
not trying to get mad because you just got wounded.
Oh man, yeah, I was down. So these kids are
Well,
ruthless.
it's funny because you have girls, I have girls. You obviously have a mix.
Yeah.
Who do you think gets injured more, boys or girls?
I would say that like the boys typically get injured more, like more concerning injuries, just because they go so hard at everything. And the boys, when boys fight, it's different.
Yeah.
It's a different level.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, you guys have brothers.
grew up with
I didn't have any
brothers,
brothers around my
Yeah.
age to where like I didn't really
Yeah.
have that sort of like fighting.
Yeah.
But if you have a brother
The whole
that's
house
within
is,
like,
if you're two guys wrestling, like the whole house is
dude,
shaking around.
It is. I mean, it is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Like the yesterday, my two oldest got into a fight. My oldest thought my youngest was spending too much time doing his hair, and he wanted to sit in front of the maid. And it was like,
Hold on, that happens in my house too.
but this was like an explosion. My wife's like, I get home and she's like, "Your sons, man." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And so she walks me through. She's like, "It was like explosive," and I'm like, "What happened?" And the 14-year-old. I was just doing my hair, and he got angry that I was in there for too long, and it turned into this fight. I mean, they're marked up fight, like it was brutal.
Oh man!
So boys will be
Boys.
boys,
Yeah.
and they go hard. Like we have dirt bikes and stuff, and boys typically will go a little bit more a little bit harder
aggressive.
than girls.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. What about when you were a kid? How did your parents react to stuff? Because I've got some funny stories.
I feel like my parents were always gone when I got hurt.
Yeah.
It was always like my sister, someone was around, and I had to call my parents, and I had to wait for them to come back, and then they'd take me to the hospital. So,
I can't remember going to the hospital for any like ER visit. I mean, it was expensive, so it's kind of like, what other home remedies can you do before that? I mean, if you broke something, but I don't think anybody really like broke anything or hurt anything. A lot of it was just kind of like, I get over it, limp around for a while.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
I just remember chasing my brother, and he was running like on all fours, and he smashed into a coffee table and broke his collarbone. And of course, my parents were traveling, and my aunt and uncle were babysitting us, who didn't have kids yet at the time. So that was fun for them. But I think, I don't know. I feel like they did the same thing though. You got to gauge it and get them to the hospital, or just.
Ours was different.
walk
My
it
dad
off.
was a doctor.
Well, your dad's a doctor.
But
But
it was like we weren't allowed to be sick or be hurt. I don't remember really missing a school day. There was a couple of times where I figured out that kids were going to the school nurse, and if there was a specific set of things, if you said like I'm dizzy or I have this, you could just say it.
You get in.
Or you'd just be like, I feel like I'm diabetic. And she, like, I don't even think she knew what diabetic. I'm serious. There was a couple of diabetic kids like in our school, and all they used to say was like, I think my blood sugar level's low. I need to go home. And she would just be like, okay.
Yeah.
So there was one time where I think I tried to pretend I was diabetic.
your dad's like, nope.
Well, no, they used to call my mum.
Oh, okay.
And so my mum would be like, all right, sure. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then she would just pick us up. And then the next time when they called, the next time I went to the nurse went, yeah, your dad called after the last time and said that from now on, every time you are in here, I have to call him and not your mum. Dude, I literally went,
I'm good.
No, I just turned around and walked out. I don't think I ever went back to the nurse ever again.
So if you got hurt at home, would your dad just like check you out and be like, you're fine?
Let me. This is going to be a hard one to show because if you're listening to this, you won't be able to see what's going on. But if you watch it on YouTube, so I was maybe 14 years old, and cricket was like one of my big sports growing up.
Yeah.
So for anyone that doesn't or can't contextualize like what I'm about to say, think of like in baseball when you have the pitcher who's pitching. And there's like whatever it's like the fly tip that happens, and there's usually like netting around and like whatever, right? So usually someone doesn't get hurt. In cricket, it's a little bit different. Like the fly tips are like legitimate, like in play type balls, and so you can have like fielders like behind, like where like the equivalent of home plate is to like catch the ball and do whatever. And so I was standing a little bit too close. And this like equivalent of a fly tip happened. I get cracked in the head from maybe 6 feet away. The ball goes flying up, and some other kid like catches it. So it's out. Everyone's celebrating.
Hey, look at you. Good job.
Well, they were like, "Oh, did that come off your shoulder?" And I was like, "I think it came off my head."
You're just staring
Dude,
out.
and you can't really see it because of my hair. I still have like a crystallized lump, like in my head.
Wow.
And they brought out the nurse who thinks I'm diabetic at this point.
She's like, just give him some sugars.
They bring out the nurse, and she's like, I think he has a concussion. Like, you shouldn't play again. My helmet wouldn't fit. That's how big like the lump was.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so my dad was great about sports. Like he would be at almost every game, but like, you know, he was coming from work at this point. So I don't think he saw the incident. So everyone's like huddled around me, like the nurse is like there, like giving me like a Snickers bar.
Get him some orange juice.
This nurse the running joke with this nurse was like, you'd go in with a broken foot and she'd put an ice pack on your head. Like she had no idea what she was doing. And my dad just looked at him and was like, he'll be fine. He can go out. I was just like, my helmet doesn't fit.
Trying to jam your helmet on.
But there was a couple of other times where like I'd broken my nose a couple of times, like playing soccer. And instead of being like, oh, that's really bad, like he'd be like, why do you need to play so hard? Like, can we just cool it a little bit?
Just dial it back.
Just dial it back.
Really?
And that was it. So it was kind of like I don't know what the equivalent is, but it was more of a just, you're fine type mentality. And I think that's why I kind of have that with my
and
with
just
my
as a
kids
guy,
as well.
it's like you were never supposed to show weakness to where, like, if you're playing a sport and you get injured like that, like how many concussions we've probably all had, you kind of just go like, shake it off and get back in there. 'Cause that's
probably
just
the worst thing you could do.
100%. I'm not
Your
saying
brain is rattling around.
I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm just saying it's the things you typically do.
Yeah.
Like my dad, like this is kind of where I get it from is my dad used to drive motorcycles. He was coming home from work the one day, and I was too young to remember this, but the story was told to me where he's, whatever. Somehow he gets into some sort of accident where he goes through a lady's like rear, like he goes through the lady's rear like windshield, right?
No way.
Like
Thank you.
through it. And he's like, he gets like, and then she speeds off. So he rolls off, hits the ground and everything. So he's been in this like traumatic, like his bike doesn't work or anything like that.
Oh, man.
He comes home, gets out of Mountain Dew, and just sits on the front step for a while and recalibrates.
Thinks about
and
life.
that's it.
Yeah.
That was my dad's like, he had to take a moment. He got good. And I think the next day, I don't know if he went in ever. I heard he never went in just because we weren't like hospital people.
Yeah.
But the next day he was obviously a little sore. He's all cut up and
Oh,
everything.
man.
So that explains his limp, obviously.
I think the limps were from a lot of other things, but yeah.
We've been talking a lot about like broken bones and like sort of more physical injuries. Have your kids ever like swallowed or eaten like something?
Man,
really
that's
random?
like my worst fear, but it thankfully hasn't really happened yet at our house. Have you guys?
Oh, dude, we've got all sorts of crazy stuff.
You got that thing you put on and you can
no, we've never had to like never swallowing to a point we had to
Okay.
get it out. Like our kids can usually get it down.
Yeah.
But obviously you'll see it when they're in diapers. You see what they swallowed. But one of the craziest things we had was, those like googly eyes you have in like arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so, my
Yeah.
son, when he was probably like my oldest, when he was probably like 5, he was playing with one and he put it like in his ear.
Yeah.
And we were putting him to bed, and he's like, "Dad, listen," and go like this. Well, he can hear it because it's shaking in his ear, but no one else can hear it. And so he kept saying, "I'm like, what are you talking about?" Like he kept talking and talking, and so finally he's like, "Oh, he somehow explains this that he put this googly eye in his ear." And like, so we're like, okay, we'll go to bed, wake up tonight, because we didn't know. He wakes up the next day, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I can kind of see the edge of it. Let's take him into. We were living in Medina. Let's take him into the local Rainbow's Babies. They look at it and they're like, we'll try, but no luck. So they end up trying to get it out. They actually push it deeper into his ear.
Oh, man.
We then take him down to Akron, which is they're like, they try a whole bunch of stuff. They're like, it's going to need surgery. We had to schedule a surgery at Cleveland Clinic downtown. They had to put him under so they could surgically remove this googly eye from his ear. It was the most insane thing ever.
When do you have time to work? The amount of injuries
Dude, there was a point where it was, I want to say in our life, we were at the ER or some visit like that on like two to three times a month we were doing.
Did you get like a membership?
ER?
It might have been easier.
It was like insurance was just like, I don't know about this guy. it was to that point. It was absolutely nuts for a period there. But
what do you think is the number one most swallowed item by kids under the age of 5?
Grapes, I hear. That's a big one.
You're talking about like non-food items or
non-food items.
non-food
actually.
items.
Non-food items. Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't even know what
Toy is some type of little toy, I guess.
Yeah, either a Lego.
Lego is number 2.
Or like since we have so many girls, there's always those hairbands everywhere, and so they're always like someone's chewing on those hairbands. Thing.
This might have been written like a long time ago. It says coins is the number one swallowed item.
I have a coin that I swallowed. My wife, my mom kept it.
Oh, you did? I thought you meant like recently.
No, and I probably do. Sure, you're gonna have to finish it.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let's move into lightning round. I've enjoyed doing some of these lightning round ones instead of some listener questions. So these are all would you rathers, and I haven't seen these yet, so we may need to kind of figure some stuff out on the fly. All right. Would you rather pull a splinter out of a screaming toddler or clean up a nosebleed during a family dinner out at a restaurant?
I think I've done both at the same time one time. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm indifferent to
I'll take
them.
the splinter.
Either of those don't matter to me.
I'll take the nosebleed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the splinter. The splinter is a nightmare to do.
Yeah.
They don't stand still. They're
It's very
screaming
hard.
before the splinters even touch their finger.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. All
At
right.
least you can jam some gauze up those noses when they
That's
start
true.
bleeding, you know?
You hear a thud. It's the middle of the night, followed by silence. What's your move? Sprint upstairs like a Navy SEAL to see what happened, yell, "You good?" and wait, or look at your partner and hope they figure it out?
Just wait. That's just the way.
We have bunk beds, and all our kids are on loft beds, so I would sprint up there.
You would sprint up there?
Yeah, because it's like someone fell off
Yeah.
the bed. You know?
We all our youngers on the lower beds. We have olders on the upper. So it's like,
Okay.
if you're older and you fell out, well,
That's on you.
That's,
Yeah.
that's evolution. If you're young and you fall out, you can get up.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a fourth option in here. I'm just going to pretend I'm still asleep.
Yeah.
And let my partner figure it out. All right. Your kid says, "I broke my leg." You immediately think, how much is this going to cost? Is it bent weird? Let my wife figure it out.
I'll typically just check the kid over. Like,
Yeah.
hey, can you walk on it? And then what I'll typically do is try to do something fun. Be like, all right, well, go get yourself a piece of candy.
Yeah.
And if they're like,
just to
that's
see
the
if it's-
test.
And if they're like, oh, I can walk over and do it, then you're like,
Yeah.
ha, gotcha. You don't get the candy, kid.
No candy. You lied.
Still a compound fracture.
Yeah.
Naveed needs a candy. He's diabetic.
Oh, I like this one. Worst thing to step on barefoot: a piece of Lego,
man.
an open Band-Aid, or one of those like Barbie toy high heels.
Dude, like the amount of things I wear. I actually wear sandals around my house now. It's
Yeah.
gotten that bad.
Yeah.
Legos are horrific.
I'm gonna throw a
Legos
fourth one
are
on
ter-
there. Blood that you can't identify.
Well, I know it's usually somebody's in the house.
Yeah,
You'd hope so.
I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. The blood's not too big of a deal.
They'll send you down though. Like when you step on something, if you're not paying attention, you're walking backwards.
Yeah.
Like you go down, and
Oh
that's the
my
worst
gosh.
part about it. Is like
The
you're
Legos
s-
send you down.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
exactly.
And what's weird is like your little kids or like even your younger whatever, they'll walk across them like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And you
Like the hot coals.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And you step on one just a little bit, and you're like, well, the worst is like in the morning, you have like your cup of coffee, and you're still trying to like figure life
yeah,
out,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
step on something like that. You're like, I'm gonna kill everybody,
Yeah.
and no one's allowed toys anymore.
exactly.
That's the new rule in the
Yeah.
household.
Oh yeah,
That explains the blood drop you can't identify.
yeah. I think I hit that one yesterday. All toys are going down the basement. It was. Yeah, it
I
wasn't,
threatened
wasn't
that
pretty.
so many times.
Yeah.
So many times. So what's the answer? What would you rather step on?
Yeah, man. I guess the
Or
As gross as it is,
worst thing that you would step.
Oh,
on.
the worst
Yeah,
thing.
the worst.
Yeah,
You
the
can
worst thing.
Frame it either way. I don't care.
I think Legos, because there's so many different sizes and shapes. Like the Barbie toys, whatever. Legos are
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
I've stepped on some of those Barbie toys though too. When the feet are pointing up, that'll get you.
That's pretty
Yeah.
bad. Too.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why, like in Home Alone, it's Legos, right? It's not.
It is. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
Barbie
Legos
feet.
and light bulbs.
It's Legos and light bulbs.
All right. What injury is secretly the most annoying? A paper cut, a skin knee that won't scab, or one of those phantom injuries with no visible mark? I'm gonna go phantom injury. It's so hard to like figure out, especially when the
Talking
kid
about for like a kid.
for a
Or-
kid. Yeah.
I would say I would actually throw another one on there and say anything that like an infection that needs antibiotics.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
that
yeah.
then they're like 10 days.
Yeah.
And then you got to get your kid to eat the pink yum yum as we
Yeah.
go. Try to
All
go.
it's all miserable.
It's
I got my
miserable.
2-year-old really excited
Yeah.
about pink yum yum
Yeah.
for like a few days. She's like, pink yum yum, where's my pink yum yum? And she was like so pumped. And then after a while, she started being like,
I don't think
this
it's
is a
yum
trick.
yum anymore.
Her face started changing, and then you're like forcing it down. You're like, oh gosh, this is brutal.
All right. Emergency room, waiting room, entertainment. You either have to entertain your kid by singing Baby Shark for 2 hours.
Here we go.
Watching fight a 600-pound toddler.
Take the toddler.
watching Peppa Pig on loop
Yeah.
until they get seen. Or you have to make small talk with another dad you just met there about a sport that you don't watch.
I'd pick the small talk.
Yeah,
You would?
Oh, 100%.
yeah. I was in the same
I'd pick
thing.
the small talk.
I think I'd watch Peppa Pig on loop.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Peppa Pig, but I pretty much
Small
hate all
talk
of those.
small talk with other dads sometimes is just brutal.
I just can't think of a sport I wouldn't be able to like pull something out of. Like if he's like,
What about NASCAR?
Absolutely. I'd be like, oh,
What about
like curling? I'd be like, okay,
What about dressage?
like horse dressage.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
What would you
Like,
talk about?
I don't know. I'd be like, so talk to me about like how do you get points scored? Like I don't even understand this.
Yeah.
I don't even understand the sport. And then just let him go.
Just let him go.
Just let him go.
Yeah.
And then I just sit there in amazement of how passionate he is.
You have a
about-
mental illness.
about horse dressage.
You have a mental illness. What would you do?
Man, I would want to say the small talk, but usually I would probably sit there and watch Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just sit there in silence.
When you're in a hospital, hospitals are different.
Just stare at a wall.
I would sit there in silence, just like turn
Hospitals
turn
are
it
different
on.
breeding rooms. I mean,
Yeah.
the
I'm not saying I would choose to talk. I'm saying like if I had a choice and the
Yeah,
guy was
yeah,
normal. But if the guy's missing a limb or homeless, I'm probably not going to talk about dressage.
or homeless and missing a limb.
Yeah, exactly. He's got diabetes.
I could help him out. Honestly, I know a really, really good nurse. She's probably passed away at this point. Anyway, you run out of Band-Aids. What do you use instead? Paper towel and masking tape? Electrical tape and cotton ball? A sticker from one of your kids' coloring books? Or just give it a kiss?
Well, it depends, I guess, on the amount of
blood
Amount of
we're
blood.
talking here.
Let's go with scrape. Let's go with like...
The way my kids think they need...
the BS
Yeah,
of
the
when
way
you-
like my kids think they need Band-Aids,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say sticker. Yeah,
sticker.
just strap a
or-
sticker on there.
I just tell them no.
Yeah.
Go away. You're good.
Yeah, suck
Now, if
it
it's
up.
actually bleeding bad, I'll typically do like whatever, toilet paper and throw something else on there.
Yeah.
Throw some Neosporin so it doesn't stick to
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Throw it on
yeah.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The one I got, it's always when I was, I don't know, maybe 8 years old. This is when did you guys ever use like liquid Band-Aid where it's like you like paint it on?
Yeah, I remember that. That was a thing for a little bit.
When it first came out, my mom got it. So I'm racing down the street on my BMX bike. I was probably like 8 years old at this time. And I try to do this like little jump thingy, whatever, wipe out, and I just skid across the ground. Like I'm talking,
Yeah.
my whole face is all cut up. I have cuts everywhere on my body. And so somebody comes out, my mom comes, gets me, brings me in the house, and good mom, whatever. Then she's like, oh, well, you're bleeding everywhere. Once the bleeding stops, we'll use liquid Band-Aid. She then continues to then paint this liquid Band-Aid all over me. It's like 90% alcohol. And she's
burning? Like burning your face?
I'm screaming. She's like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And she's like, so she covers me in this stuff.
Oh,
and
man.
like whatever happens, and I'm like, screaming that it's painful.
yeah.
And she's like, oh, whatever. And then, time goes by, and she ends up getting like a cut on her finger. And so she then takes the liquid Band-Aid, she puts it on her finger, and she's like, this hurts so bad. I'm like, I told you it hurts.
Meanwhile, your chemical peel is like...
I've been
great. That's
I've been
why.
altered for all
Yeah,
time.
seriously. Oh, man.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. This last question I don't really like. It's a bit too close to home, but let's zip through it. Your kid falls at the playground and looks at you. You cheer and clap, give your fine nod, pretend you didn't see it, or run over like an Olympic athlete and make sure they're okay.
No, we'll typically give them, they're like, hey, you got a full 10
Yeah.
on that one. Good job.
Yeah. As we've had more kids, that's changed.
Yeah.
Because at first it was like run over there, but
Yeah.
now it's like, give them a minute. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
watch this. Let's play this one out.
Yeah.
If they get up, they seem
Well,
coherent.
I would
Yeah.
put another
Good.
one on here that isn't here. I would just ignore it and hope they...
Just
and
turn
hope
the
they-
other way.
Yeah, turn the other way.
Pretend you didn't see
Hope
it.
Hope they figure it out. Well, I did see something on here that said that kids under the age of 6 are 4 times more likely to cry from an injury or scrape if a parent is watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
I'd buy
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That-
do they
that-
exaggerate injuries? Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Anyway,
By that.
cool. All good stuff. I do feel better. So thanks for
Yeah.
putting me in
It's
a good
cathartic
mood.
for you.
It is
You got through
cathartic.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
Through
for
it.
yeah.
It's going to be all right, Naveed.
I don't
Yeah,
mean
it's
to
gonna
like,
be okay.
yeah. Look, I don't like emotionally dumping on you guys.
Did
but
I
thanks.
did I ever tell? I think I told you. You guys might have heard the story about my wife and I having to cancel our flight due to my son
I've
injuring
heard this story.
himself.
I think this is actually instead of dad interest,
I'll
tell
tell
the story.
this- I'll tell
the
this
story. This is a good story.
So my wife and I think it's our anniversary, and so we head down to Miami. So we're in Cleveland, so we actually take a 2-hour flight, whatever, 2.5-hour flight down to Miami. We get to Miami. The goal is we have this I think it's like a 2-night stay at this place we really like. It's on the beach down there, and my wife has like all the food places picked out. So we go to our first brunch place. We got this like nicer car than typical rental.
to confirm, she's not type A, but continue.
So funny story. I found out I'm type A. I'm like
You are not type
I'm like
A.
a closet
Yeah.
type A.
No, you're not.
Okay, maybe I'm not.
Closet a lot of things, not type A.
anyway. So we get down to the thing. We're at brunch, and we get a call from the school nurse,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, your son's in here and he's saying he's not feeling well. He's going to throw up.
We think he's diabetic.
No,
blood sugar's low.
he's going to throw up. And we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, what kind of call is that?
Like, what? Like, is he throwing? She's like, well, he just got really pale and he just like collapsed on the couch and doesn't want to move. And we're like not responsive collapsing on the couch, or like what exactly?
Yeah.
So we talked through it all and we're like, okay. We call my mother-in-law. We're like, hey, can you guys head up there and like pick him up? And she's like, yeah, sure. It's going to be a little while. Meanwhile, he's getting like what appears to be like sicker and sicker and sicker.
Okay.
And he's getting like pale and white. And so my mother-in-law picks him up and she's like, yeah, he's not looking good. And he's like, I'm not feeling good. Like my stomach's hurting me and I don't feel like I have to throw up, but my stomach's hurting me. So they go to the ER and the ER doctor looks him over and they're like, you know, everything's fine, whatever. And then they're like, are your pants tight? And he's like, I mean, they're a little tight because he was wearing, like, they go to a private school, so he was wearing like khakis and whatever else. And so, you know, they check his privates and they're like, your testicles have actually twisted because your pants were so tight. So they're like, this is the most painful thing a man could ever endure, is having this, like, they call it testicular torsion or something like that. Whatever. Basically, the testicles twist inside.
Yeah.
And they're like,
it's a hard one to say really quickly.
yeah. It's pretty, so meanwhile, my wife and I have now finished brunch.
Yep.
And we're heading to the place we're supposed to stay, and we're getting these calls, and they're like, we're probably going to have to operate because if you can't untie these things within a 4-hour period, the one starts to die.
Oh no.
And we're like, he's a 12-year-old boy. You can't have one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, but at the same time, it's like, well, we're going to have to. So then we're like at the hotel, just about to check in. And I'm like, we're not sure he's going to have to go into surgery, but what would it be like to have your nuts operated on and your parents not be there?
Yeah.
Like your grandma's there with you. And so we went back and forth and we're like looking at the flights. Meanwhile, there's a torrential downpour happening in Miami. Like they've closed all the garages so we can't even get our car out. I mean, it was horrible. So finally I'm like, listen, we're going to regret it more if we don't go back and something he has to go into surgery, whatever. So we end up like flying back, it was crazy, like, you know, 4 hours of trying to navigate and get back home. All ends well. He doesn't need surgery.
Yeah.
Everything ends up happening fine, but we end up flying back and you know,
you messed up. You should have just told him. You should have used his own advice and said, "Chicks dig one testicle.
Chicks dig
one ball.
Chicks to uni."
I think that's a good place to end.
Let's land this plane.
There's no natural pivot, so why don't you take us home, Matt?
No, yeah, guys, we appreciate you all listening. You could find us on all the major platforms actually nowadays. So, but if you want to know when we drop new episodes, hit subscribe, follow us. We'd appreciate that too. It helps us out. And let us know some comments. What do you guys want us to talk about? Tell us your kid stories too, so we can hear some stories. And yeah, because we want to hear from you guys. We want you guys to be part of the community. So until next time, thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Thanks.